I keep trying to stay out of it, but it's coming any second.
Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Go ahead, T. Healthcare now! Healthcare now!
Hi, everybody.
Healthcare now! Healthcare now!
Hi, everybody. I'm T.R. Reid from Denver, and I'm here to tell you, everybody says this is an unusual year in politics. But Colorado politics are taking a bizarre turn today because a group of people who've said they always favored universal health care are coming out against it. These so-called progressives are siding with the Koch brothers and the far-right fringe of the Republican Party to oppose the only plan in Colorado that would provide health care for everybody. And here's what's really striking. The head of the Democratic Party in the legislature is siding with the Republicans to vote against universal health care. Bernie Sanders has endorsed the Colorado Care Plan. The members of the Democratic Party of Colorado put it in the party platform, and now the party leader wants to ditch what the members of the party propose. Now, here's the question. Why would they do it? Why would these people who've always said they favor universal health care come out against it? Well, there may be some reasons, but what's the big thing that's changed? Here's the big change. Millions of dollars have flowed into our state from out-of-state insurance companies. Now, what can you buy with $3.6 million of out-of-state money? Well, maybe what you can buy is a press conference from a bunch of people who used to be for universal coverage and are now against it. Maybe that's what big money does in politics. Who knows? And here's the more bizarre twist. These people have no plan of their own. There's a plan on the ballot that would create universal coverage for everybody in Colorado, would save billions of dollars, according to independent analysts, and these people say no. The Republican Party is supposed to be the party of no, and now these alleged Democrats have nothing to say but no, with no plan of their own. Well, we have an answer for them. It's called Amendment 69, Colorado Care, and the thing to do is vote yes on Colorado Care and tell the out-of-state insurance companies to go gouge people somewhere else for a change. Now I'd like to introduce Jeff Hart of Common Cause.
Hi, my name is Jeff Hart, and while I'm not representing any particular organization, I am a co-founder of both CleanSlateNow.org and a longtime member of Colorado Common Cause, which led to the successful passage of Amendment 69 a few years ago.
What was your amendment number?
Amendment 65, right. The majority of all Americans want to get rid of this big special interest money out of our politics. In fact, 85% of Americans of all political stripes in recent polls have said big special interest money has too much influence on our politics and that our entire campaign finance system must be overhauled. Furthermore, right here at home, 74% of all Coloradans, including people in every one of our 64 counties, voted for Colorado Constitutional Amendment 65, which instructed our federal and state legislators to support a national constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United and to stop the deluge of big special interest money in our political system. Our economy is rigged and our political system is corrupted by the influence of big special interest money. Nowhere is our economy more rigged, and nowhere is this rigged economy more acutely felt by working families in the middle class than in the delivery of health care. By an industry that preys on our fears of medical bankruptcy and spends 25% of our premiums on their administrative overhead and profit. Obamacare doesn't include a public option for health insurance for one simple reason. Because the insurance industry and big pharma spent hundreds of millions of dollars to ensure that it didn't include an affordable public option. Colorado Care aims to correct that mistake, and the only thing that might prevent it from passing is, guess what? As TR said, the millions of dollars that the insurance industry will pour into ads trying to protect their administrative and profit margin of 25%. How much is that worth to them? Try $38 billion. That's the size of the Colorado insurance market that they stand to lose if Amendment 69 passes. Why did Amendment 65 pass by a whopping 74%? Because fewer and fewer people in Colorado and across the country are able to have their voices heard. When elected officials and candidates dial ultra-wealthy donors for dollars, are they more likely to hear about the need for affordable health care and things like paid sick leave, or are they more likely to hear about carried interest, capital gains, and the inheritance tax? Big money in politics is a corrupting influence. It skews priorities and prevents our elected officials from addressing issues that we all care about. We all know big special interest money in politics is a huge problem in Washington, but it's a big problem in Colorado here too. I learned this only too painfully in my own recent primary campaign for the state legislature, where I was beat by the tens of thousands of dollars that poured into my race to benefit my opponent from some of the most conservative business interests in our city and our state. Fortunately, Colorado is one of 18 states that allow citizens to bypass the money-influenced politicians and take things directly to the people on the ballot. Though if this Raise the Bar initiative passes, that will be harder for us to do. And there's an organization called Colorado Concern, one of those powerful conservative special interests working against us, and defeating Amendment 69, Colorado Care, is their #1 priority, as shown on their website homepage. And also on Colorado Concern's top 3, passing the Raise the Bar initiative to make it harder for we citizens to pass initiatives like Amendment 65 and Amendment 69, Colorado Care. I know Coloradans want more affordable health care because so many told me so as I knocked thousands of doors across East Central Denver in my own campaign. In fact, more than half of all Coloradans want Colorado Care. However, the will of the people for truly affordable health care will be thwarted by these same powerful special interests that are determined to put their profits ahead of our health and our pocketbooks. I ask the people of Colorado to stand up against these powerful special interests. So please go to coloradocare.org and sign up to volunteer for this important campaign.
Give us your name, or spell your name.
Jeff Hart, J-E-F-F-H-A-R-T. And I'd like to introduce I'm going to introduce Donna Smith, who is going to talk to us more about the importance of this Colorado Care Amendment 69.
Hi there.
Can you hold that high, Donna?
I can hold it.
Yeah,
How
good.
you doing? Good morning. My name is Donna Smith. I live in Denver, Colorado. And I am also the Executive Director of Progressive Democrats of America. And we endorsed Colorado Care Amendment 69 before the first of the year. So we've been on board for a long time. And it would be hard to, sorry, I have a little out of breath from running from Starbucks, but the reality is for me and so many thousands of Colorado voters, we can't sustain the system we have now. I pay almost $600 a month to Kaiser for gold level coverage because I'm a 61-year-old woman. What will happen to me when those prices go up this year? And I can't, you see this cane that I'm walking with. The reality is that I have a bad hip. The doctor recommends that I go to physical therapy twice a week. That has a $40 copay every time I go. If you add that up with my premium every month, just those copays for physical therapy, and my premium takes me to almost $1,000 a month. Under Colorado Care, I drop down to under $200 a month in premium. The difference that makes to me, my family, my community, to this state is tremendous. The amount of savings people would have, and as you watch companies like Aetna pull out of exchanges because they can't make enough profit, they say, on what's going on, even though they show record profits this year, just not as high a record profit as they'd like to have. The reality is we can't keep going in this direction, not unless we want every expendable dollar that Colorado families have going directly into the pockets of insurance companies and other execs and corporate interests. We have to change this system. For the first time in this nation's history, a state truly has the chance to move forward in a good way. And I would remind people that the Democratic platform recently passed by the entire National Democratic Committee stated that we would move towards allowing states to be the laboratories of democracy and to move towards universal health care if they could do so. We are blessed in this state to have Senator Irene Aguilar on our side, fighting for us, making sure that we can get better health care coverage. And I would challenge those people who are in women's groups coming in. I know some of them very well on the national level. Elise Hogue is a dear person who runs NARAL, and she's here this week. Many of you may have seen her on television. And they are coming in and raising concerns. She lives in Washington. She's a wonderful woman. But the reality is, Washington can't tell us what to do here in Colorado unless we want to give over our economy and our health care to the system that is right now and the whims of whatever going to happen on the national level. Is there anybody who really trusts that either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton is going to move on this in a way that protects Colorado's families? I don't think so. And I'm really, really concerned that we make sure that we support this amendment. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, now I'd like to introduce Dr. State Senator Irene Aguilar, the most respected voice on health policy in the government of Colorado, knows much more about this issue than the people who are going to have a press conference on the side of the insurance companies in a minute. Irene, what do you think's going on here?
You know, everyday people have lost faith in our political process, and it's no surprise. Money buys allegiance, money buys politicians, and politicians help corporations maintain the status quo. What you are seeing today is the influence that the multi-billion-dollar healthcare industry has on Colorado politics, an industry that consistently chooses profits over people's lives. The irony of hearing the day after Aetna announces it is leaving all but 4 health exchange markets is not lost on me. In 2016, Aetna's second quarter margins were up 8.5% from 2015, and they made a profit of $78.3 million in 1 quarter. But that's not enough. They don't want to pay for health care for our population. And insurers are struggling because they can't negotiate fair prices with drug companies. Congress won't even let Medicare negotiate fair drug prices, and pharma sues any state that tries to bypass congressional rule. And insurers are struggling because our hospitals keep building more and more hospitals to extract the highest prices from insurers. But of course, none of them are expanding psychiatric capacity, and our people are still being held in jails when they're having mental health breakdowns. Political power has created not only distorted markets, but non-functional ones. We have too much wealth being generated in activities that don't improve the health of our population. And our laws ensure that this wealth can continue to be hoarded by the rich and the powerful. Today, you will hear a progressive organization use the Koch brothers' American for Prosperities and Corporation for Corporations talking points that were drafted for them by a lobbying firm in Colorado that represents pharma. Look it up, folks, on the Secretary of State's website. You can find it yourself. This is the political establishment squashing the voice of the people. Colorado Care collected over 156,000 signatures. We have over 2,400 volunteers. We reached out to these good people at 9 o'clock last night, and they are here because this matters. Colorado Care took the League of Women Voters took the time to spend evaluating our ballot initiative and has endorsed it. The platform committee of the Colorado Democratic Party also took the time to discuss and debate this policy, and they endorsed it. Sorry, I'm nervous, believe it or not, because I never thought I'd see myself here. When organizations that are mislabeled as progressive choose to support the status quo, choose moneyed influence over the lives of the 535 Coloradans estimated to die each year because of lack of access to health care, it makes the people angry, and it makes me angry. I am tired of people saying, oh, I support universal health care, but not at a state level, but not this specific plan. Well, support is nice, but action is better. Since 2010, our Congress has voted 61 times to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and not once to improve it. In 2009 and 2011, I and activists worked together to introduce bills that would have created a task force to analyze how do we go to universal health care, how do we pay for it, And our state legislators defeated this, even in times when we had Democratic majorities. So don't tell me you support universal health care. Amendment 69, Colorado Care, provides everyday Coloradans the opportunity to bypass the money political structure. And now the establishment politicians are asking voters to trust them and not trust that Colorado Care Yes is right. The voters ultimately will decide. Fortunately, they know better than to trust establishment politicians.
Here, here.
Whose interests are they pursuing? Yours or their own? Follow the money. Look where you can. Look at the Secretary of State campaign donations. Candidates and elected officials are required to disclose their campaign contributions. Unfortunately, 527s aren't, and so you won't find that money. You'll find no shortage of big pharma and big medicine lining up to fill the coffers of candidates across party lines as a proven investment in buying influence. What we have now clearly doesn't work. Our country has the only healthcare industry driven by profit, and the corporations who profit have more power than people do in politics. In closing, I totally understand the anger being displayed in this election. People are angry because government is not addressing their needs, but the needs of corporations, whether it be the medical industrial complex, the oil and gas industry, or chambers of commerce. When Progress Now becomes a wing of the chamber, they've lost their relevance. They've lost their authenticity. Colorado needs real progressive leadership that doesn't take its marching orders from money and corporations. Thank you.
Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now!
Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now! Healthcare now!
All right, I'll tell you what's going on here. As a political matter, our polls and the other side's polls show that Amendment 69 is winning, and why not? It covers everybody, it saves billions according to independent analysis, and the insurance companies are terrified that Colorado might do this, so they are pumping in millions of dollars. They say all politicians are for sale if the price is high enough. Well, maybe today we're going to see a few politicians who are for sale to the out-of-state insurance companies. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.